In this video, we're going to talk about how not to be disturbed by what disturbs you, because this was the example that Prabhupada set for us. The other day, a godbrother called me up, and he asked me about a conversation that was about me, that I was supposed to go to Hawaii in 1975 and become the temple president, because the leader of the temple president, who was the sannyasi, was having some difficulty, and he could no longer remain temple president. It was a crisis. And in the letter, the GBC said, I'm going to ask Mahatma to come and be the temple president. He was telling Prabhupada about me, and Prabhupada was asking, can he do this? And I actually had no idea about it at all. I didn't know that conversation ever happened. And so the godbrother and I began talking about all the difficulties that Prabhupada went through, all the situations where he was depending on somebody, and that person gave up Krishna consciousness or wasn't able to perfectly follow, had to give up their responsibility. This happened a lot. Crises in our movement, where lots of responsibility was on the shoulder of one person, and they gave up that responsibility. And then everything comes back to Prabhupada. And we were talking, maybe there should be a book about all the difficulties, all these kinds of situations that Prabhupada went through. Because we would be amazed, I think the average devotee would be amazed at how difficult it was for Prabhupada to manage the movement. And in fact, he said, I can't translate my books when all this management is going on because it disturbs my mind. So there we have this word disturb. Prabhupada's mind was too disturbed. And we think, dhiras tatra namuyati, he's not disturbed. There was a lot of anxiety that Prabhupada was having to deal with, a lot of discouragement that was coming, a lot of discouraging things, and discouraging statements by some people in India. How does a pure devotee feel that? He feels it, he experiences it. It is a disturbance. You expect support from your godbrothers, you don't get it. You expect your disciples to follow you, you don't get it. It's not that, it's like there's a shell around him and he doesn't feel anything. But what's actually happening is he's not being disturbed by the disturbance. So I think this is an important consideration. He is being disturbed, he is experiencing it, but he's not allowing the disturbance to disturb him. And this is such a great lesson for us, because we do get disturbed, and we do often allow the disturbance to disturb us when we shouldn't. Right? So how not to be disturbed by the disturbance? That was Prabhupada's example. So don't ever think, no, it was easy for Prabhupada. No anxiety, no sweat. Look what Prabhupada was going through to build, just to get the land in Vrindavan was difficult. Someone else was trying to get the land. Then to get the materials to build it, the resources, the funding, and then the whole fiasco in Mumbai. I'll just go down the list. And then the Muslims came and to Mayapur one year and shooting. And it was just like, you probably don't know all these things. But there's so many difficulties, so many anxieties. And Prabhupada said that the symptom of a pure devotee is that even there is a disturbance, and even though he is disturbed, he doesn't allow the disturbance to disturb his devotional service. So that's the key. I was thinking, maybe I'm disturbed. Something has happened, some tragedy in my life, some intense anxiety I'm going through. But he doesn't allow the disturbance to disturb his devotional service. He remains steady. That's the example Prabhupada set. And that is an example for us. Hare Krishna.